Alright, well good evening everybody and welcome to round 7 of the Race Spec Pacific Series here for Tier 2 action at what is most of these guys' home track, Australia. I'm Bod Hod and I'll be your commentator for this evening as we tackle the Albert Park Street Circuit right in the city of Melbourne, actually only about 30 minutes from where I am currently sitting at my desk at home, so nice and local for me, which is nice. As mentioned, home drive for most of these guys in this tier, being a Pacific tier. Did just want to quickly just give a second to honour a legend who unfortunately passed this past week. This is my first commentary stream since the passing of the great Murray Walker, so just wanted to acknowledge that quickly. Voice of Formula 1 for over 2 decades, from the 70s to the 90s, much loved member of the F1 community, so just wanted to quickly mention that and yeah, just give him a couple of seconds, just in memory of the legacy that he left on the sport. But yeah, here for round 7 action. This is an extra round, not originally planned, as it was meant to be the weekend of the real-life Australian Grand Prix, which of course got moved on to later in the year. I think it's mid-November it's been rescheduled to, so we have popped an extra round here in this race spec season, so it is extended by 1 week, which is pretty cool. 1 more week of crazy action as these guys normally put on for us. Just running on board here with the racing point at the start of the session, tackling the street circuit. We might try and jump on board with the driver for a full hot lap just to get ourselves around. Banana sets the first lap of the evening with the 21.1, not a bad time at all. We expect to see pole probably in the high 19s or low 20s, somewhere in that ballpark. Blocky's on the 20.6, that's a bit more on the pace. Hello to our friends in chat as well, welcome to the stream. Gavin in the chat, welcome along buddy. Yes, an absolute legend, definitely will be missed in the F1 community. Bags Little is currently sitting top with a 20.2, it's not a bad time there at all from him. Let's see if we can find someone who's on a hot lap. We're about to start one just so we can get a full lap of the circuit in. Of course, you haven't been keeping up with Formula 1 news. There will be some slight modifications to the Albert Park layout, so this will be last year really was the last year that it was run in its current format. A couple of slight modifications to the circuit, including this section here. I'm actually trying to ride on board with someone who's about to go through it. A Williams of kick butt is going through there soon. Yeah, so we've just passed the first sector split here, coming around turns I think 7, 8 into 9. So you see that little runoff road on the right hand side there where the normal road goes. I believe that is where the new track will go, so the cars will go shoot through there pretty much flat out. So that's going to be interesting to watch. It will make turn 11 and 12 up here a lot faster, which is already pretty sketch. This is probably going to be the most dangerous area of the track, where we're probably going to see the most mistakes made through that incredibly fast complex that we've just gone through there. We might try and jump on board here with F1 Hawk. I want to ride on board for a whole lap just to find ourselves around the circuit. So out of the last corner, the lap really starts here, and get on the power as soon as you can, get the car turned in. You don't want to lift through there if you can help it. Cross the line to start the lap. Medium braking into turn 1, try and hit that apex. Can't run too wide on the curb there, otherwise it will instantly invalidate your lap. Don't want to do that at all. F1 Hawk heavy braking around about the 100 metre board into turn 3, where we saw Fernando Alonso have his massive crash. That probably is the most likely overtaking zone, heavy braking zone there. 4 and 5 tricky, don't want to take too much curve. 6, again that inside curve can be quite deadly, as well as the outside curve. Narrow, tricky approach to turn 7, going through the shadows, really difficult to brake, particularly without the ABS assist on. Then through 8, braking into turn 9, where the new track format will be for next season, or rather this year in real life. Around the flat out turn 10 here, where the palm trees are, probably one of the more iconic sections of the circuit, into 11-12, slight dab of the brakes, maybe a shift down, through 11 and 12, don't run too wide, which unfortunately F1 Hawk's just done there. I'm not sure if that can be invaluable or not, we'll check it at the end. Heavy braking into 13, probably another overtaking zone, and onwards from there is when the track is going to probably go as well for this season. Through 14, 15, 16, tricky little braking zone here. Quite hard to hit that apex sometimes. Looks like F1 Hawk is going to bail on that lap. Yes, he did invalidate there on the exit of 12, but that there is a hot lap with Albert Park. Yeah, I personally really enjoyed the lap. I think it's a fantastic hot lap. Can be quite difficult to race on. Not many real overtaking zones. Either the corners are too fast, the braking zones are too, or not long enough, or the run out of corners is also too fast. You're more likely to be making moves in heavy braking zones, and there's not many of those around here. I actually think Albert Park's got one of the highest average speeds for a lap, which is interesting considering it's a street circuit, quite narrow, just on public roads. Yeah, that kind of shows how little you are on the brakes, which is of course the most kind of viable way to make an overtake. So it's a tricky little track. I do enjoy it though. But we'll see how these guys tackle it. I mean, they've proven that they can race hard at any track, so I don't think this one's going to be any different here. So honest cooking, the Ferrari's going to come around the line. He's actually going to set a lap before the last 2 minutes, which is very, very rare of him. Quick apologies, we may as well say as well, just for the stream and the race being a little bit late. A couple of issues trying to get the lobby set up. But we are here better late than never, race, so there you go. But Honest Cook's deciding to, well, I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's trying to get a slipstream off Will here. Really effective to do it through there. You really want it in the slow sections, just to get yourself pulled through those corners there. You can see him rejoining back into the racetrack in perfect fashion there. So really good use of the Dio, not Dio's toe there. He's going to pick up some more here actually through the second sector. Oh, what a favour. Will's not even his teammate. So great teamwork there from the Ferrari teams. I'm genuinely confused at what's happening there. Let's move on. Who haven't we seen yet? We haven't seen most people. I think VSNKI in the Red Bull is on a hot lap coming through turn 9 now. I think he's about to catch this mysterious slipstream train, which is now parked in the middle of an apex. They better get out of the way, and that's one way to do it. This is the Australian Rallycross Grand Prix, it seems, for Will in the Alfa Romeo. I'm so puzzled. Anyway, VSNKI coming through the third sector now. Hopefully we'll see him in the top 10. Should be competing for points on a regular basis. Bright green helmet there actually stands out quite a lot. On the side there, bright red and green. Christmas on steroids, I guess. Comes across the line, P4 with 20.5, solid time. Bags a little, still leads us away. Looks like VSNKI wants a bit of a slipstream as well here in the pit exit. So very puzzling scenes here. Will's actually put himself in P2 though, so he obviously knows something that we don't. I can't quite put my finger on what the key is. Anyway, Scotty coming through the second sector now. We'll come up to the first sector, split into the second sector in the Haas. Hasn't set a time yet. He's really picked up his pace. I remember from last season, racing in Tier 3. He moved his way through the field really nicely, moving from kind of contending for the midpoints to being a threat for race wins on most weeks. To Scotty's pace really looking nice. Just in general, we'll see what he can do in this quali session. This is a really important qualifying session due to the fact that it is quite difficult to make overtakes, so important to get a solid lap in, and with only half the session left to go, now's the time to get a banker if you want to really push in your last lap. A couple of guys with unrepresentative time so far. Cookie and Server can definitely go quicker. No one's used the medium tyres as well, as I mentioned, as well, so everyone's on softs, so even playing field in that regard as well. Scotty's going to jump up to P6 at 20.3, which is a pretty nice time. We do have a couple of guys who have hit 19s though. F1 Hawk and SNUI regular front runners in this tier, it seems, have both hit the 19s, 19.9 and 19.8. for the Renault and McLaren respectively, so that's more the kind of time we want to see. Stone Tower has actually done a really nice lap there as well, 20.1, very, very solid. So the two Alfa Romeos, 3 and 5 at the moment, looking real nice. They're doing quite well for themselves. Now, is the Renault on a lap? No, I don't think either of them are. We haven't seen a Mercedes yet. Looks like Grim Reaper coming through the first corner now. He's just starting a lap, I believe. One of two drivers still do not have a time on the board. Artie Cheng's, I think, is coming through the second sector now. He might be on a hot lap. No, he's invalidated, so he's on the back foot, definitely. Probably only going to get one more run in. So Artie needs to get scampered back to the pits and put on a fresh set of boots and have another ping. We've got some more slipstream here. But I think is it honest cook? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Very interesting. Anyway, Reaper coming through 9 and 10 now. Round 11. Don't really regard it as a corner in these cars. Absolutely easy flat out. If you're not taking that flat out, then you shouldn't be racing, I don't think. Cuts that a little bit but gets away with it. So it looks like you can cut turn 12 a little bit. I know in the last game you cut a lot of that, get away with it, but this game genuinely is a lot stricter on the warnings, but looks like Reaper's managed to find a way through there. The third sector now looks pretty tidy. This might be a top 5 or 6 contending time. It is quite close up there, so every little bit counts. It's only 7 or 8 tenths between P3 and P13 at the moment, so what can you do with 20.1? Very, very solid, up in P4 behind his, I think we can safely say, a bitter rival, the Stone Tower. These guys not afraid to rub each other off a little bit. So spicy second row as it stands for now. Looks like Will's decided that he doesn't want to tow anyone else along in the gravel. He's going to start a lap. Good awareness there from the racing point. I think that was coming out the pit lane. Oh, a little bit squirrely. Had to lift off the throttle there. It's going to cost him a bit of time. Heading down to turn 3 for Will. You can see there, probably just taking a little too much inside curb. Unsettling the car, but he's still got it together. We'll see what the split is. Can he improve? P6, very, very solid so far, 20.2. He's actually failed on that lap, so he's probably got his delta there telling him he's not going to improve on that run, so best to save the tyres potentially for the race if you need them. Cookie looks like he's on a lap. He's 1.234. What a nice number there. Up in his time, which is probably a good thing considering he's down in 16th place. Behind his teammate Edmund, who we'd also expect a little bit higher as well, I think. I say everyone's expected to be high. That's kind of the quality we've got in this tier. A lot of really competitive close drivers here. So I guess we can't put too many expectations on too many people, but it looks like Crookie's going to come around the final corner. He's going to set A. It's going to be improvement, definitely. Nearly a 2-second improvement, a 1:20.1. That's a cracking time for Honest Cook there. Up in a P4. Very, very, very solid from Honest Cook. He's obviously found a way with the track, so there you go. Time is really close up there, only 8 thousandths between him and Stone Tower. Gets in between a bit of a sandwich he probably doesn't want to be in. But we'll see what we can do about that. I think Artie Cheng's I want to have a quick look as well. Well, it says he's on a lap, but he's definitely not pushing. He's on 0 ERS, so he's going to pretty much have a one-shot quali. I'll try and get a time on the board. Edmund in the other Ferrari is on a lap. He's 2.5 tenths up. He's going to need a bit more than that to threaten top 10. And he's just invalidated, so he's definitely not going to be improving on this lap. Not many cars on laps. I think our current P2 man might have just started though. He might have flipped to him. Yes, he is S. Newey on a lap at the moment after pretty solid race last week before Calamity kind of struck late in a stint with F1 Hawk. Unfortunately, didn't help him out too much, and he's just invalidated as well there, so he's going to have to abort this current attempt. Hopefully go for another one if he's got the time to. But apart from my deal there, you don't want to do. Well, you really don't want to do more than one lap on these tyres. The soft's quite fragile in the race. You really want to get off them as soon as you possibly can. Yeah, we haven't really talked about race strat yet. We might do that in the formation lap. Everyone is going for a soft tyre, so there's no one really trying anything different yet. Now, who's on the lap? I think the Racing Point, no, he's not on a lap. So a lot of people on out laps getting ready for their final run. Will's not on a lap. Artie is on a lap. There you go. Williams it is. Artie Cheng's in his one-shot qualifying session. Coming through turn 9 now, close to the wall in the exit. We saw, I think it was Lance Stroll in that, I think it was 2017 or 18 there. And the outside wall, don't want to do that at all. No delta because it is his first lap, and he's invalidated again, and he's in the, he's kept it out of the wall somehow. That's miraculous. That is a save and a half. Not a bad effort, but that is going to be it for Adi Cheng. He's not going to be able to set a lap. Less more still on these Cook tyres, which I don't think he probably will want to do. He's done alright to hit that out of the wall, but you can see how difficult turn 12 is. Really gets the car unsettled through there. You can't take really too much inside or outside curb. So that'll be it for Adi Cheng's. We might do a lap just for fun, but I think the real deal is, yeah, it looks like he's going to give it another P anyway. But move on. Looks like Bags Little has invalidated his lap. That's the Rock coming through there now. So the Rock on his final attempt. Oops, sorry there, just knocking around with the mic. Rock's 2.5 tenths up, almost 3 tenths up, so that would put him well into that front 2 row fight, really. Could jump him as high as second if he can hold on to the time through here, and he hasn't. He's invalidated, so he's seen a lot of drivers really pushing hard and invalidating their final laps. Not ideal for him. Doodog's in the pits. I think he's blocking a lap. He is blocking in P12. We'd expect him a little bit higher as well, but someone else might be off in turn 12, maybe an Alfa Romeo. I think it's Will actually. No, it's the other Alfa Romeo, my bad there. Maybe it's Stunning Tower. But Blocky coming through the last corner now, misses that apex slightly, but as long as you can get power down, it should be okay. Looks pretty nice with a little final corner coming across the line. What can Blocky do? Can he challenge that top 10? He can, P7 just behind his teammate, so really nice time. Literally just behind his teammate, 2 thousandths in it, so very solid there. Macedonian can only do P10. Who's coming around the final corner now? There's a couple of guys trying to catch as many as we can. I think Edmund's coming around the final corner. No, he's in the second sector. My mistake, getting the Farage on. Cookie stays in 4th place. Who else have we got on a lap? Looks like the Mercedes in the 3rd sector. It is Reaper. Can he improve his time? Currently marginally down. He's gone wide and he's invalidated as well. So people, you can see how hard they're pushing. Kickbutt Kiwi I think is coming through as well in the 3rd sector. Yeah, he hasn't set a very strong lap time relative to the rest of the field. Louis only 6 tenths back from P3. That's how close this field is. P3 to P15 within 6 tenths. But Kickbutt coming through the final corner. What can he do? Power down. All he can do is wait and look at the timing board, and it is going to be 2 tenth improvement, which keeps him in P15. So. And he's out of time, so it's only going to be P15 for Kickbutt Kiwi. F1 Hawk improves to a 19.5 as well, we should mention, so that is a cracking lap there. Scotty, I don't think he's on a lap, and Edmund, I think, is going to be our last person across the line. What will it be? P8, that pushes Will down into 11th, which might not be the worst thing there. Banana Cake Pie into 10th, which is definitely not a great place to be, but I think that's going to do us a quality, because Bags Little is finished. Scotty, I think, was finished as well. Yep, so that'll be it. So F1 Hawk, 19.5, very, very solid time there. Very respectable. He's got a 4 tenth buffer, about 3.5 tenths, which is quite sizable actually for a quali session. With a lap that's not the longest to Esnui there. So those two have a bit of a rivalry as well. You've got Stone Tail with a great lap there at 20.1, just ahead of Honest Cook. Scotty in P5 has somehow managed to squeeze himself that little gap there, just had a Grim Reaper. You see how incredibly close those times are. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at P3 to P7. Sorry, P3 to P8 there. There you go. So Scotty, Reaper, Blocky, Edmonds all within barely anything. I think it was Little and Bernard kept rounding out the 10. So that was quite exciting qualifying actually. A lot of really competitive times. And you can see how hard they had to push with all the invalidations we saw at the end. So easy to just slip wide a little bit too far. But there it is, 3.3 tenths is the gap from first to second. And there's a lot of guys only 5 tenths behind. So Will, Macedonian, The Rock, Dildog, Hissing Kia, Kickbutt and Server, Adi Cheng, so they will all get free choice of tyres. There was a couple of options for them. We may as well start talking about the strategy now. Soft to hard is probably the ideal way to go, but a soft to medium is possible. I think if you're starting outside the 10, You'd probably try and start in the mediums and pit for softs towards the end. But if you're inside the 10, it's going to be quite a difficult stretch. I think the softs, you probably have to get into lap 11 or 12 to get to the end of the race. Off the start, which is not an easy feat. I think my friend the Smeg mentioned you could do about 18 laps on the medium tyres. So it's not the easiest soft to medium, but it's possible. And with an early safety car, we'll probably see most of the field pit for hards. But we'll have to see what these guys do if anyone tries to do anything creative, whether it be a two-stop, which is probably not quite viable, although it would be quite exciting to watch. Regardless, we'll have to wait and see. If anyone in chat's got some predictions, let me know. We probably average about 0.2 predictions a race, so it'd be nice to get a couple in if you're tuning in as a spectator, or even as a driver. If you think you can win, let me know. Beautiful looking grid there. Weather looks nice and dry as well, so it looks like no rain will be will be a factor. Tyre choice. Only one person's gone for hard, so Kickbutt's decided that the medium soft is not the way to go. He'll probably be able to push a little bit harder for a little bit longer on those hard tyres. I'll come good towards the end of that stint, and we'll definitely aim to go for softs at the end. Macedonia's put fresh softs on for P11, as has Server, Will and Kavudi, who has joined the session in 16th, 17th and 19th. Now I think Kavudi's meant to be in the Williams because he joined late. He didn't manage to select a car, so there you go. So I think he should still probably get points for his constructor, but we'll have to confirm that later. But anyway, 19 cars to the grid, which is actually a good effort. So those four, as I just mentioned, Macedonian, Server and Kavudi will be on the soft tyres. We've got 4 guys on mediums, the 2 Red Bulls, Rock and VSNKI. Dildog is also on mediums, as is Arden Cheng's on the second to last row. So a couple of different strats at play. It's going to be interesting to see whether the likes of Macedonia can start to push through those quality soft runners, and how long they can stay ahead of the likes of Rock, Dildog, VSNKI on those mediums. You'd think by about lap 5 or 6 the mediums would start to overtake the softs, or they definitely well and truly have started by then. We'll see if they can do anything about it. Kickbutt's going to be an interesting one. If he gets damage early on, his race is done. So high risk putting the hards on at the start, but we'll have to see how that plays out. F1 Hawk for the win. He's done half the job, or qualifying pole. Well, it's not quite half the job, I guess. No points for qualifying, but he's put himself in the best position to do it. It's just a matter of whether he can keep himself out of trouble, if he can keep his nose clean on the penalty front as well, which could be a factor in the race. But he's definitely lined himself up well, as these guys line themselves up on the grid, ready for the Australian Grand Prix. We'll see if we can get a nice camera shot. That's not the best camera shot for the start, unfortunately. Everyone looks like they're in, which is good. Cars straighten up. Come on, game, give me a good camera angle. There we go, that's a bit better. Alright, ready to go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Fairly quick launch, actually. We're underway. It looks like the Stone Tower. A bit of wheel spin off the line. A couple of guys looking like they're... Don't worry about the leaderboard. It's totally broken. But we have S&U and F1 Hawk side by side for turn 1. And F1 Hawk swoops around the outside and hangs on to P1. We've got some calamity at the back, I think. There's a few yellows. I think it's the Stone Tower's fallen right back. Deputy Dildog's also lost a lot of positions there as well. But the top two look like they've gotten away a little bit from the Ferrari in P3. Honest Cook hanging on to that position there. Bit of action in the midfield here. We've got a 3 wide through a place where you currently go 3 wide. Kavudi's going to cut that and slot in behind. He didn't gain advantage there, so that should be all okay. Spectator menu's absolutely crapping itself, which isn't helping at all. But yeah, a bit of trouble flying. Dildog is well down. He's on the mediums, so that's not going to help him. Stone Tower from the second row as well. And there's always a big incident there, and that is Kavudi in the wall. And he's very, very lucky to not DNF from that. I think he got a bit of a helping hand from, I'm not sure who it was, an Ivinardi, but that's not going to do him any favours in this race. It's definitely going to be damaged. Serving the Rock, as all the Rock gets a little bit squirrely out of turn 12 there. Server's not quite close enough to line up and move. But a pretty crazy start. So Banana is trying to hunt down Bags Little as well, who's trying to hunt down Reaper in turn. Macedonian's made up a couple of positions on those fresh softs. We did mention how much he can gain in the start of the race, and he's managed to do so early on. So really nice start there for Macedonian, but F1 Hawk will lead them away as that leaderboard decides to sort itself out. Finally, Blocky's also made up a couple of positions into P4, so good start from guys, which is good to see. Where is our positions gained? It's not that. There we are. That's what we're looking for. Blocky up 3, Edmund up 3, Macedonian up 5 as mentioned. Kabuti's in the pits with damage. A couple of guys at the back look like they're having a bit of a scuffle as well, but yeah, biggest movers Server and Macedonian up 5 each. Will's up 4 as well. He was looking really nice at the start of quality, but didn't look like he improved his lap. But looks like we've settled down a tiny bit, which is probably a good thing. Kabuti's put on more mediums. He's going to 2-stop from here. I guess you may as well just try and send it. Safety cars and anything's really going to save your race from this point. Might jump aboard here with Macedonian. Actually, he's hunting down Edmund. Macedonian's the one with the pace at the moment on those fresh softs compared to everyone else's old softs. He's going to get a nice run out of 11 and 12. Looks like Edmund's going to use a bit of that battery though and stay in front for now. He does so. Oh, he's a little bit wide of the curb there. That might show Macedonian the nose. It's a little difficult to go through on the inside there. Probably smart to back out of it. As Crookie is the first one to get 3 seconds. Obviously trying to push as much as he can in a podium position for now. He's going to want to try and stay in touch with those top 2. If they get away from the DRS, then they could be gone down the road and not to be caught. But yeah, you can see the big train there. So we have settled down after a really, really spicy start, which is probably a good thing. As Kabuti's picked up a time penalty as well. He's definitely not loving life at the moment. From starting from the back, so not ideal as we got a little bit of tyre smoke, a couple of people lock it up. Easy to do in turn 3 there, heavy braking zone. Yeah, but looks settled. Rock currently leads the medium runners as well. Might as well mention that's kind of their own little race. Kickbutt managed to hold relative position in P14. Scotty's right behind him in the soft tyres though, so Kickbutt might be hard pressed to hold on to that position for a while, but we'll have to see what he can do about that. It looks like Kickbutt's going to lose a little bit of traction on the exit. That's going to cost him the run. He's going to defend the inside though. He can't really sneak down the inside. I reckon Scotty, he might be able to get the DRS if he can get a nice run out of here. Takes it pretty tight. Really nice exit there, so he should be able to get the move done if he uses the battery and the DRS, which he does, to the outside and into turn 13, and he's going to round the outside. Kickbutt's doing really well to hold it here on the hard tyres, and they're still going to be side by side, and Kickbutt's actually going to squeeze still side by side, and finally Scotty gets through. But Kickbutt did a really good job of making that a lot harder than it could have been, so nice job there. But Scotty is now through, and his next target is Will. Up the front, we'll have a quick look here. Looks like Blocky's still right in the back of Ron's Crook. He's actually going to send it down the inside here, and oh, he's closed the door a little bit, and Blocky's saved for that spin somehow. Really nice catch there from Blocky. He was pretty late in the brakes there, and Blocky's going to actually get that move back. Really nice from Blocky Rex there. Yeah, that was a good little comeback. I thought he was going for money on the other Ferrari there, but he's done well to get back in front, although Edmund's got a really nice run through 7 and 8 here. Blocky's going to have to cover the inside. He's going to compromise his run, although he takes the racing line nicely. Edmund has to slot behind. Macedonian's right at the back of this raid pounce behind them. Reaper and Bags Little looking like they're going to have a bit of a side-to-side as well. So it's starting to really kick off here, guys. Want trap position as Kabuti's in the pits. I was going to say he's in the wall, but he's not in the wall. He's in the pit lane. Unfortunately, he's having up this session. Which is not good to see, as someone's binned it. I think the Server, he's binned it at turn 12. He's got no front wing, so it claims its first victim in the race. That's going to be massively disappointing, and we have a full safety car for it, so surely these guys are coming into the pits on the soft tyres. Hawk's missed the pit lane. Newy's in the pit lane. Oh, I'm not sure if Hawk made the decision to stay out or whether he decided to stay in. But he's come into the pits. Edmund stayed out, probably doesn't want to double stack, although to be honest I think double stacking is probably better than having to do a whole pit stop later. Now what's the strat going to be, because it's pretty early to go to hards for the rest of the race, but you don't want to two-stop it. We've got a bit of a variety here. There's like a lot of people going hards, but Newey and Crook are putting on medium, so they are going to have to make another stop in this race, so two-stopping it. That's going to be interesting to see whether they can hang on. So yeah, I guess we got the race we wanted in terms of interesting strat. But F1 Hawk will lead them away. Edmund will be in P2, both of them still on the soft tyres that they both qualified and started the race on, so they won't be prime. But I guess we'll see what they can do with them. The Rock and VC and KI, so the Red Bulls have gone from both outside the 10 to 3 and 4 at the moment, so they've had a nice start there after all that, getting the track position on those guys, pitting. Kickbutt is now also in P5, so the two Williams boys, 5 and 6, also not pitting. New will be the first of the pitters. He's just ahead of Dudog, who we saw had that poor start. So he's not out of it either. This Kickbutt, this is probably... Oh, well, I think Kickbutt's in a really good position here actually, because he can stay up with soft tyres. Same with probably the Rock and VC and KI, so he's pretty much on par with these guys. The top two are going to have to pit for harder tyres, so they're going to really struggle to hang on to their positions. Because I think softer tyres at the end of the race will be much better. No, they'll be that much better. It'll be really hard for them to keep these soft runners behind. So Red Bull and Williams both looking really nice after some shaky starts, which is good. I'd like to see that. Blocky's put on hard, so he's the first of the fresh hard runners. And there you go, F1 Hawk and Edmund are in. So Edmund clearly didn't want to double stack, and I reckon F1 Hawk, what happens is he's missed the pit lane. I reckon that's what's happened, which is annoying for him, because he's now going to be right towards the back of the field. But I mean, we know the quality of driver, or the pace that he's got, so I'm sure he can do his best, or he will do his best to try and catch the back up, but they're going to be right at the back. This does help Stone Tower. He's going to have another chance, although from last place rather than from the third row this time. So it'll be race start 2.0. Safety car will probably come in at the end of this lap, so these guys better start warming their tyres up and getting ready to go after what's quite a spicy start to the race. So because of that pit stop there, we now have a Red Bull 1-2 and a Williams 3-4, which is going to be interesting because Artie Cheng's, I believe, is a reserve, but he is on the softer tyre. So I wonder if Kickbutt's going to let him go and chase the Red Bulls, or whether Kickbutt knows that he's the full-time driver and will defend to stay ahead. It's going to be an interesting discussion to have post-race. But yeah, anyway, time for a quick breather before we get cracking again. Actually, before we do want to start, I do want to quickly mention the two guys who are doing something completely different as well. I noticed Macedonian and Repro putting softs on again, so they're going to be absolutely rapid. So Macedonian's doing a soft, he's going to put mediums on at the end, so he's going to be one to watch out of this restart, again having the freshest tyres of the lot and the softest. So Macedonian could be the one to make moves. First target will be Blocky on the hard tyres, then a bunch of guys on mediums, some of which haven't pit yet. So Macedonian, he's going to be really quick for at least the initial 4 or 5 laps after the safety car restart. But we see here the Rock is back in the field up now. Safety car is coming into the pit lane, so we're just about ready to go. When does the Rock pull the pin? You can pull it quite early. You can pull it out of here if you want. If you feel confident, you have the tyre temperature to go through the second to last and last corner. He's going to pull up again. He's going to go on the apex of the last corner onto the straight, pulling the momentum. He's got a decent restart in his teammate. No one's taken too many chances off the restart, which is probably a good thing. I'm not sure my camera keeps defaulting down there. That's a little bit weird there. But 2 Red Bulls off, 1 and 2. They've got a second already to kick butt, so those hard tyres not quite switching on the way he would have liked. I think Esnu is right at the back of Artie Chang's, and he's going to get by. So Esnu's had a nice start here. Or he's not going to get by. Artie Chang's going to fight him really hard. And Artie Chang's is actually going to hang on there, so really nice from Artie Chang's. He's doing his teammate a massive job here. I'm sure that's what he's trying to do there. But Esnu, he's going to try and squeeze his way through here. He's not quite going to have the run to do it. He's going to cut that corner. That will definitely be a warning there. So Esnu, for his race's sake, he's probably going to have to get by as soon as he can. I think most of these medium tyres while they're fresh. Dudog's still hanging in there as well. He didn't pit yet, so he's gained some nice track position. But look at Esnu, he's got a really nice run out of here. Artie Chang looks like he's going to burn the battery as well and do his absolute best to stay in front. And he does. Esnu slots in behind. Artie Chang's run is going to be compromised though. Esnu should get a much better exit through here, and he does. No DRS yet for the next couple of laps, but looks like Esnu is going to get through. We have a couple of side-by-sides. Crook and Dildog just behind as well. And Crook's going to sneak through as Artie Chang's finally concedes to Esnu there. So Esnu up in P4 now. Dudok pushing Honest Crook through this third to last corner. Top two are gone, 2.5 seconds already. So Red Bull's having a flying start. Red Bull gives you wings. There you go. Macedonian with fresh softs. He hasn't quite made up the places yet, but quite difficult with such a big pack. As Artie chasing Honest Crook, Artie's going to lose another position here to Honest Crook into turn one. Crook goes deep. That's going to cost him the run. I reckon Artie might have another look back into turn three. Slots into the slipstream. Get a nice run. Can he go late in the brakes? Not quite. Crook stays just ahead. Goes a bit deep in the braking zone though. He's going to be compromised through turn 4 and 5 and 6. And they're going to go, oh, I thought they were going to go side by side. That is not where you want to do it. Dudok, Macedonian, these guys are weaving everywhere. There's a Renault with banana cake pies also. You can see pretty emphatic movement there. Dudok picks up 3 seconds for cutting that corner there. And Reaper looks like he's going to try and make a move around the outside. Banana cake pie, these guys going so hard at it. On board with Reaper around the outside. Just gets the car pulled up. He's going to sneak through, I think, on the inside now of the exit. And Banana cake pie has to concede. He's in a, I don't know what he's doing out there. Some more Australian rallycross, I guess, but these guys going absolutely at it. Crazy stuff. Wow. Banana's going to absolutely blatantly cut that. He probably shouldn't take this position. As you've got yellows and stone towers on the wall at turn 12. And Banana's been hit behind by, I think that was it Scotty? It was. Scotty's picked up a 5 second for a collision. Banana is spun around. We have another virtual safety car here. So Banana should be able to get that Delta back to the pack, but that is massively costly as the Rock's in the pits at a P2. So I wonder what the reason for that is. No front wing change. He's put hards on, so he's decided to make the most of this virtual safety car here, which is probably not too bad of a shout. Although I think if you had the clear air, you would rather stay there, though I'm not too sure. Anyway, we'll see how he fares. That now puts VC Ki into the lead by himself. So no rear gun off Red Bull there. The Rock is set for the end of the race. Dudok is in the pits as well. He's had a nose change, I think, as has Scotty. So plenty of trouble there. Scotty must have hit Banana pretty hard there to warrant a front wing change, but that's a shame for Banana there. Down now out of the pack. As Macedonian, he's going to have those softs switched on a lot quicker than the medium guys. He's managed to get by Artie already. A perfectly timed restart for Macedonian up into P5 now. Artie Cheng's in the medium tyres trying to defend now from blocking the hards. Reaper is also on the softs. Reaper and Macedonian, they're the two quickest guys at the moment, but Reaper unable to sneak through there. Will and F1 Hawk also aren't too far behind either. Plenty of action happening in this race, which is what we like to see as spectators. As Reaper's going to get a nice run through there. He's not quite going to be close enough to make a move into 13, no, I don't think. Looks like F1 Hawk will decide that they want to switch positions. F1 Hawk down the inside and through, so there you go. F1 Hawk with a lot of work to do to get back up to the top 3, but still a lot of laps to go. We've already just about reached the 1/3 point of this race. So yeah, lots and lots of time still, as Macedonian's already lining up his next victim. It's Honest Crook, DRS open down the inside turn 1. Crook is probably not going to fight it too hard. He's probably going to focus on the run on the exit, and he does. Macedonian pretty squirrely on the exit though, trying to run a bit too much curb there, making that overtake, but he's managed to hang on to it and is now sitting P4. So Macedonian, man on the move. Honest Crook's going to stick behind. May as well have a look at this gap as well here. Kick button S-Nui all over the back of the Williams, doing his absolute best in hard tyres, which aren't going to be optimal anymore. 9 laps on him, so he started on those tyres. He's just gritting it out till he can get to the softs, which will probably be around about lap 18 or 19. Maybe a tiny bit earlier if you're feeling brave. But S-Nui's all over the back of the Williams now. You can see the Red Bull shooting away ahead. 4.5 seconds is now the gap between 2 and 3. S-Nui's going to go down the inside here into 11, and you know he's going to slot in again. VC Ki is going to be loving watching this battle in his mirrors here, holding each other up. But S-Nui's going to go around the outside with DRS now, late in the brakes. Can he get it stopped? He can. Leaves the space on the inside. This is some really nice racing. He will go off board. I really want to see this, and that is really good respect for the pair of them. But Kickbutt manages to stay ahead. What this does is look at Macedonian. Look how much later on the brakes he can go on the soft tyres. Doing really nice. That battle pack behind is also still not done. We'll keep an eye on that as well, but plenty happening after the safety car restart. So S-Nui is going to make a move around the outside of turn 1. Really difficult to do. I'm not sure he's going to quite pull it off. He is. He's got the run into turn 1 before the braking zone, and he has done it. S-Nui up into P2 on the medium tyres. Kickbutt P with P3. You can have Macedonian all over the back of him now on the soft tyres. Macedonian's got to be careful here. I can't brake too late into these corners. He's got so much more grip on those soft tyres, but has to be a little bit careful. But he also can't afford to get held up behind too long, because those softs won't be good for very, very long. Kickbutt goes a bit defensive into 7 here. He's going to hang on there just, what was that, 6, my bad. 7, 8 now. And no, he's not going to go for the big send there. Try and get the run out of here. It's like Reaper and Blocky, the 2 Mercedes boys switching positions. I wonder if that's good team orders there. Reaper on the soft tyres, supposed to block his hard. Blocky will try to go to the end of the race there. But we'll flick back up here as Macedonian is pushing, literally pushing Kickbutt through here. Got the run, DRS opening. Kickbutt does just have DRS from Esnui as we got more yellows. Someone else has been there. Honest Cook is retired from the session. He's done it at turn 12 as well. And we have another virtual safety car. Where's the stricken car? On the inside there, the wrecked Ferrari. As DJ Khaled famously says in every song, pretty much. Another one. How many more will turn 12 claim? That's the big question, but we have another little reset here. Artie Changs picks up a penalty under the yellows, which is probably the worst thing you can do. Golden opportunity to pit though. VSNKI is taking that opportunity into the pit lane, as is, who's that? Artie Changs and Banana Cake Pie. Sorry, not Banana, Artie Changs and Grim Reaper, my mistake, both in the pits as well. Getting a somewhat free stop while the rest of the field is going slowly, and the Red Bull is going to be close together here. And VSNKI is going to just lose out to his teammate. So they're actually still sitting pretty nicely. They're going to be able to go to the edge comfortably. But we're just going to see where they come out relative to the field. As Grim Reaper's picked up a drive-through for speeding. That's the last thing you would want. He's just pit as well. So Reaper's going to be a long way back. Dildog's going down his inside now. So Reaper's not going to be a happy chappy. He's going to try and hang it around the outside here. Turns to the inside. Nice little battle here actually. But Reaper's unfortunately is not going to be for anything, because he's going to have to serve that drive-through. I think it's 3 laps, so yeah, it's going to put him well back now, back towards Scotty, who's still struggling in 15th place. But we'll divert our attention back to the battle for P2, because Macedonian's got a nice run here. Can he outbreak the Williams? No, he can't. As VCNKA picks up a time penalty, that could be costly for his chances as well, trying to get, well, I think there's a multi 2-1 happening at Red Bull here. Yeah, it is. As Blocky also picks up a time penalty, which is not going to help him at all either. You see Macedonia, he's so much quicker, still no soft tyres. Kickbutt Kiwi's doing a fantastic job though, getting the power down as difficult as he does on those older hard tyres, and he's going to hang on again using the battery. So it's an absolute mission at the moment for Kickbutt Kiwi. But you feel like it's just inevitable for Macedonia to slip through. He's going to go around the outside here. Kickbutt again defends the inside, puts the car in the right position. A tiny bit of contact there. Macedonia's going to try and get the power down sooner, and he does, and Macedonia is finally through to P2 after a valiant defensive effort from Kickbutt Kiwi. Esnu is 3.5 seconds down the road, so that was an absolute mission for Macedonian. Considering the tyre deficit, I think Kickbutt's done a quite remarkable job there for hanging on for that long. But now we'll see what Macedonia can do. Those tyres now 8 laps old and not going to be optimal. I'm sure he'll do his best to close that gap a little bit. They're both going to have to pit again, Esnu and Macedonian, so that is a genuine fight till the end of the race there. As we're on board here with Bags Little, as he picks up the time penalty for cutting that. We definitely did catch that. He's going to try and hunt down Blocky here. Both of them hard tyres. Blocky's going to hang on for now, picking up a bit of DRS from Kickbutt. Although Bags Little has got a nice run through here. You might think about a move, no. Quite a risky move into the second to last corner, because it boggles your entire run through turn 16 and onto the straight. So probably don't want to do that there. He'll try and line him up into turn 3 most likely. He's going to use the battery now, get nice and close. Blocky's being a bit safe by the DRS in front, but he's gone a bit deep into 1. It's going to compromise his run out of 2. And this might be the chance here for Bags Little in the racing point, down the inside, sharp move. He's going to get alongside the braking zone. Blocky's going to try and outbrake him. There's contact a little bit there, and Blocky is going to just hang on. Tiny bit of front wing to rear tyre contact there, but fortunately no major harm done there. But look at F1 Hawk shooting around the outside here. He's going to make that move. He's going to side by side. He's sort of forced Bags Little to cut that corner a little bit to avoid an incident, but he's gotten through. Great move there from F1 Hawk around the outside, and Bags Little, from going to offensive on Blocky, he's had to go defensive on F1 Hawk, and unfortunately lost position out of all that. So it's a really nice side by side here actually happening.
So yeah, cracking battle here. Will's not too far away either. On medium tyres, he'll have to pit again. I've been keeping an eye on this gap at the front as well though, and Nui's pulling away from Macedonia, so those softs look like they're just about done. So I would expect to see Macedonia in the pits, possibly this or next lap for mediums to the end. He could try and stick it till lap 17, maybe, and go softs again, but I don't think it's going to be worth it at this point. Unless he's just trying to hang it for a safety car. I know he is in this lap, so it'll be mediums to the end for Macedonia and push from this point onwards. That's going to put Kickbutt back to P2, Blocky into P3, F1 Hawk up to P4, Will into P5. So plenty still going on here. F1 Hawk looks like he's feeling really comfortable in these hard tyres. He's going to get another run on Blocky, who goes deep again into turn 1, so Blocky's struggling a little bit with the front end perhaps, and F1 Hawk's going to sneak through and get that position, P3 now, which is really important for his race. It's been a nice little comeback here for F1 Hawk in the McLaren, doing quite well for himself. So yeah, we'll see how far he can get back up the field. He's got a fair bit of way still to threaten the race lead. 6.5 seconds now is the gap between S Nui and Kickbutt Kiwi. Kickbutt's probably not going to be too far away from pit stop either. Might have a quick look down here to the Red Bull party. Trying to hunt down Banana, Kate Pine, the Renault. After Banana's spin, unfortunately setting them back a fair bit of track position behind a couple of guys. Some points would be nice from Banana at this point, but he's going to have a bit of a job trying to keep these Rebels behind. Although if VC car keeps cutting that, it's not going to be too hard a job at all. If he picks up penalties for that. So VC car is going to keep it between the white or yellow lines around here. If he wants to get by Banana, already had a penalty disadvantage. 3 seconds, just quickly check the penalties there. So S Nui's got 6. That's actually something worth noting. That gap is 7 seconds. But on the last stint, there's going to be a couple of quick guys trying to hunt that down, so that's going to be one to watch. Looks like Bags Little is going to try and line up and move on Will. He's not going to get done to 1. Will has to go a little bit deep. He's gone wide on the exit of 2, and Bags Little gets through. So Will now down to P6, Bags Little into P5. Will on medium tyres, 11 laps old, so they're going to be getting along in their life. Should still have a bit of grip though for the next couple of laps. He's probably going to put on the softs the last 10 laps or so, my guess. But we'll see how that goes, whether he'll be able to do that or not. Edmund did it 3 seconds, so naughty, don't do any more of that if you're not lose positions at the end. Battle for P2 back on though. F1 Hawks managed to close up to Kickbutt Kiwi here, and he's pulling Blocky and Bags Little and Will and Edmund and Banana and VSN KI all along, all of them in a big DRS train you can see there on the map. So F1 Hawk looks like he's the man to get a move on, as they're all going to cut that a bit again. So geez, if they get a late safety car, these penalties could really hurt them. But yeah, I mean the likes of Banana Park could really benefit here, as could Kickbutt Kiwi, but he's got a few bigger problems to worry about in the short term here. This massive train trying to hunt him down. Kickbutt's probably going to pit in about 2 or 3 laps time, so he doesn't have too much longer to hold him up before he can start to stretch the legs on some fresh soft rubber. But before that, F1 Hawk is coming in that McLaren Rainbow Halo. And he's going to get a nice run through there. Lots of curve on turn 2 there, trying to get the car turned in, perhaps get the power down, oversteering through there, but he's going to get a run around the outside. Kickbutt Kiwi, we've seen how strong he is on the defense already, but this time goes deep, and that's going to let F1 Hawk slide through on the switchback, and that is a nice move into P2 for the McLaren driver. Looks like Vincent Cow and Will having a battle with Benai Kate Pie. These guys all close together. Don't remember who was where when, but these guys look like they're switching positions a little bit as well, so plenty of action in this pack here. Edmonds dropped a tiny bit off the back of Bags Little there as well. Yeah, plenty of action down here. Might jump on board the rock here actually at the back of this train and see if anything happens up ahead. Edmund's so close to DRS there, I think he's just going to miss out unfortunately, so that could be important for those front guys there in this pack to break away. Looks like they will decide to actually keep it on track this time through there. No warnings for anyone, which is a good thing. No one close enough to make a move either. I think Block is going to be the next person to try and line up, but when does he pull the pin? When does he decide now's the time to go? The farthest he might probably go at the end of 18, or if you want to be safe, 19. Alternatively, what he could do is just wait and hope for a safety car, which can save his trap position. But yeah, I'm not sure how his tyres are feeling. That Black Bags Little is nice and close to Blocky as well though, so these guys still definitely well and truly in a battle. I think the rest of them are going to be, they're going to try and stretch to the end of the race. They're not going to be any good, those hard tyres. Keep Up will have to pit, Will have to pit. SU of course will have to pit out the lead. I think everyone else is good to go to the end though, so only a couple more pit stops probably for this race, barring safety cars or other major calamities this race. But it is nice to see pretty much the whole field in this big battle pack here, with the exception of our race leader and a few strugglers at the back who've had some unfortunate races. I think Grim Reaper was having a bit of a battle at the back. I think I saw them switch positions a couple of times as well. But this is the place to be. Blocky misses turn 11 apex, he's going to cut turn 12 a bit. That would probably be another warning for the Mercedes, and the second-hand Mercedes is going to be hunting it down but not close enough to have a ping. Of course the problem with the DRS train is, well, the DRS is very useful to aid your overtaking. If the bloke front is within it, it can be just as useful to defend, so it's often quite difficult to make any real moves if the bloke in front of you has got DRS, which I think some people would think is not a bad thing. But I guess it just makes it difficult to make moves, and we want to see moves, we want to see overtakes and lots of things happening. Anyway, Bernard's literally pushing Will through there. He's had a shocker of a run, 2.5 second gap now behind BCKR, so I'm not sure what's happened to Will, as he's going to get, yeah, he's going to overtake him at Banana here, who just manages to pull it up, only just, and the Rock's probably going to try and squeeze through the next couple of corners as well, so I reckon Will's tyres are just about giving up on him at this point, so that might be a sign of things to come for Newey. He's managed to stretch the gap out to nearly 9 seconds though, which is a very good effort, but unfortunately for pit stop he's going to have to, he's going to lose all of that. Unless he gets lucky and gets a safe car on the next lap or two. It looks like the Rock's going to try and squeeze his way through. Whoop, not sure why that changed over, and he's going to stay behind Will for a little bit, but should be able to make a fairly straightforward move into turn 13. Will won't have DRS. Although the Rock hasn't got a fantastic run through there, so the Rock might just be safe. Yeah, he will be. So there you go. I think quite materialised there. This battle cylinder. Keep Up's actually doing a very good job to stay within the DRS of F1 Hawk as well though, actually. That gap is still 9.5 tenths, which is enough to give him the DRS. So Keep Up KB is doing an absolute mission. As the racing point we saw just at the end, they're getting a little bit squirrely. Apologies about the notifications popping up there, not too sure what that's all about. These guys still same formation as Will's decided to come into the pits. He was one of those medium runners we said had to pit. He's decided to pull it now, so he's going to do 10 laps on his soft tyres so they can see how far back in the middle of nowhere he is. So that is not great for Will, but if he gets a safety car he'll be laughing. So I reckon that's what Newey is doing. He's just going to try and stretch that as long as he possibly can. I'm going to hope for safety car, which should give him back some track position, but I mean it's going to be mighty difficult to try and pull back through the field. So F1 Hawk could be our effective leader at the moment, if all things kind of go smoothly from here. There are plenty of guys here who still want to take that away, but surely can't go to the, well, he's not allowed to go to the end, is he, because he started on those tyres, so when does he come in as well? So this big battle here, this is for a podium. So there's plenty of points on the table. As you see Bag's little starting to squirrel around those hard tyres a little bit. He looks like he's starting to put the foot down and push. As Esnu is in from the pits, from the lead into the pits. As Bernard's picked up a time penalty as well, which is going to really hurt him at the end with this pack being so close. Esnu will put on the softs. He's going to come out behind a lot of cars, so it's going to be behind the Rock, I think, in the end. So that is quite disappointing there for him, I'm sure. He's got a lot of work to try and get back to that battle pack. Although the rate they're fighting, I mean, he might be able to still, it's not all over. Bag's little, all over the back of Blocky here. I think Edmund, he's been kind of just floating around in there, not quite threatening the guys in front, but not coming under pressure from the guy behind. So Edmund's doing a nice little job here, but what can these guys do? It's a really nice heli shot, actually. I don't know why we don't get more of these. We keep getting all these silly little shoulder shots and front wing and rear wing kind of sideways shots, but we don't get enough of helicam. Hashtag bring back helicam. But Bag's little, you can see the lines he's taking on Blocky, trying to get Mercedes to make a mistake, but Blocky holding solid for now. As Blocky picked up another time penalty that's going to hurt him massively, potentially. It is 6 seconds, so it's going to drop him behind a couple of cars if it stays as it is, and it looks like Bags, he had a chance to send it down the inside, but he chose to not to. And VCQI has decided to, and he's being turned, unfortunately. Edmund trying to leave a little bit of space, but unfortunately with the game physics, front to front contact is very rarely going to work out well. And VCQI is unfortunately put into a half spin and is now out of that little battle there. In the meantime, we've got a couple of guys up here. Kickbutt is finally decided to come in the pits. Enough's enough. He's putting on the soft tyres. He's going to drop a lot of trap position as well. So that puts Blocky and Barracks into 2 and 3. Edmund to P4, Banana and Baroque into P5 and 6. So we're still going nice and close together here. Kickbutt's actually going to end up behind Macedonian in P10. And behind his teammate and Dildog. So Macedonian, that's massive. Down into P... not Macedonian, sorry. Kickbutt Kiwi, that's massive. Dropping down to P12. He's not going to have much time to gain that back. As the Rocket does get through a banana cake pie there. Yeah, so... I mean, the lot... Not quite with him. Fortunately for the guys around S-Nui and Kickbutt Kiwi, got a bit of a free pit stop with virtuals and the safety cars and stuff like that. Who has got their strat right and taking advantage of their opportunities are the Red Bull boys. P5 and 7 after both starting out at 10. They've done quite well for themselves. But we have to divert our attention here to P2. Blocky and Bags Little going side by side. A bit of contact. Blocky cuts the apex and understeers back into Bags Little. Bit 50-50 from the pair of them, I guess, but I mean, hard racing, 3 laps to go, 6 laps to go. We've got more yellows. That is a Red Bull. Oh, just as I was confident, the VSync Kia's on the wall, and that surely damages, big damage on the right hand side, and that's going to cost him a top 10. That is massive there for the Red Bull. After the compliments I was giving them getting their strap bang on, unfortunately VSync Kia has thrown it away. He's going to come into the pits, put some sauce on, maybe go for a fast lap to redeem something from this race, but that is a massive shame. That puts Nui up to P7, Macedonian, Artie and Dildog all in inherent positions, as does Kickbutt, and BT and Kai filthy with himself as retired from the session. You just got to hope there's no safety car now. I see you regret the decision, but that's a big shame there for the Red Bull. Yeah, that's racing sometimes, I guess. I don't know if he made contact with anyone. I think he might have just dropped it, but not too sure, so I can't comment too much on that. But anyway, this is the one we want to watch. Blocky's only 2 seconds off F1 Hawk, as well as worth noting, so that battle was nice and close together still as well. So I mean, there's still plenty to fight for. If F1 Hawk makes a mistake, a couple of silly warnings, running wide, a bit of a focused lap, so these two are going to be right on him, so P1 still not out of question for these guys here. Let's see what they can do. Kick butt on the fresh sauce, making moves down the field. As you can see, it's Blocky and Bags Little, both of them sliding through the second last corner, trying to get those hard tyres to grip up in the traction zone. Complaining all the way that looks like Bags Little's going to have another run on Blocky here. Blocky might try to switch back into turn 2, and Bags Little will still have the DRS because it is technically one straight with a bit of a break in between. That's how they treat the DRS. And he's going to go through, and there are yellows, and Banana's off into turn 1. And he's a long way off into turn 1. What on earth has happened there? He's in a massively long run off. I'm not sure what's happened there to Banana Cake Pie. And he's picked up 10 seconds for clearly cutting the track and gaining an advantage. So naughty there, Banana, but that is a mystery. That's put him out of the top. I think he was running 6th, wasn't he? That's a real mystery. I'm not too sure what's happened there. I wonder if he's had a coming together with his teammate or something, because they were pretty close together. That's a mystery. Anyway, Banana Cake Pie now in 13th place, and he's going to have... Has he got wing damage? I think he does have wing damage. Yes, he does, so that's going to compromise him an awful lot. Hard tyres as well. But yeah, wow, that's big. So a couple of guys falling over a bit, facing Banana Cake Pie in the last couple of laps. The question is, can these guys hold it together now? So Edmund's been the next one to attack Blocky. Bags has decided to jet. He's only just in DRS range as Blocky. That's really close there. Blocky's going to have to put in some really solid laps at this point now to get back to trying to challenge that P2. We'll just quickly check the penalty front again. Might be futile though, because blocked with 6 seconds is possibly going to lose to Edmund at the rate we're going as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Keep our eye out here for Esnu though. He's really rapid. He's catching this pack. I'm not sure if he was responsible for his teammates' crash. I'm not sure what happened there, but Esnu is, I don't know, regardless, the man on the move at the moment. He's going to try and line up the rock in the next couple of corners, I think, using that soft tyre grip as much as he can. As these guys are having an almighty side-by-side, that was a bit of a spaz out there for the leaderboard. 90 Changs is through a Dildog. Both of them on old hards, so fair fight there. There's still a bit of action. I believe the top 15 get points in this tier, so everyone's on the points if they finish. So every little bit of incentive there to keep on going. Looks like Esnu is going to have a nice run here with the rock. He's going to go around the outside. Rock will sure will defend it as hard as he can, but soft ties and Nui is going to just be enough. Bit of contact, and the Rock's had to save a half spin there, and he's managed to stay ahead just so. Oh, not stay ahead. Sorry, he's managed to keep it on the track just. Esnui does get ahead, and that is what I meant to say. So the Rock. Oh, Esnui is nearly putting it in the wall there. I would advise against doing that too often. Yeah, don't crash. Anyway, Macedonian is got a big gap ahead, but not a big one behind. Kicked by Kiwi. The other guy picked for softs recently is on a charge. He's going to be trying to line up that move in the next couple of laps as well, I think. Macedonian with a nice calm race. If he gets a safety car now, he's absolutely laughing with no penalties there, but so will Kickbart actually. So this could be quite important if we do get a miraculous safety car now, like a one-lap safety car or something weird like that. I don't know, you never know. But this battle might be starting to brew now. I'm keeping an eye on a couple of other gaps as well. Battle for P4 is still on as well. That's Nui hunting down Edmund, as well as that iRacing Dudok little scuffle. Might want to keep an eye on as well. So a few little things happening still in the closing stage of this race. As Kickbart's incredibly late at the brakes there. I think Esnui's going to make a move here. Someone's in the wall. Who's? Oh, it's Blocky. Blocky's in the wall. Oh, with 3 laps to go, Blocky has crashed out of a podium position. That's massive. That is absolutely massive for the Mercedes. And he's surely got damage. He's got massive front wing damage. That's put Esnui into the podium position now. That is absolutely incredible. Everyone seemingly getting into a bit of trouble at the end of the race. I'm not sure what's happened there. I don't think he was close enough to Bags Little. I don't think Esnui was close enough to him either. I reckon he's just dropped it. Wow, we just caught that out of the corner of our eye, running up with Edmund and the Rock, I think it was. That's big. Anyway, Kickbutt Macedonian, Kickbutt down the inside of turn 1. Macedonian's going to hang it around the outside. Really nice driving there. Both of them leaving each other just enough room. Kickbutt's going to try and hang on to the slipstream to have another ping at turn 3 around the outside with the grip of the soft tyres a little bit deep, still side by side, and I think Kickbutt's just going to have the grip to hang on, and he does. Macedonian's going to have to slow in, I think, and try and tail behind. He does. Great little racecraft feature there in this race. That was really nice for the pair of him. But Kickbutt now through into P6. Macedonian, he's going to be pushing as hard as he can to stay with him. 2.5 laps left, so not long left in this race, but gee, it's been a spicy one, hasn't it? Plenty of action left, right and centre. At what people say is a place where you can't make moves. Who on earth said that? No, it's been a spicy race, definitely. It's not done yet. I think Kickbutt's got the grip though to hang on to P6 for now. Who's had a decent drive to the field now is Esnui. I mean, I think he's been helped by a few mistakes from other drivers, but Esnui's done quite well to get himself up to P3 again, after being a long way back. We did say we keep an eye on this little battle as well here. Dudog chasing down Artie Changs, and look at Will, he's caught up on fresh softs as well, so this is a 4-way fight. Reaper's right there as well, so this could be a spicy little battle for P8 here for the last lap and a half or so, or 2 laps for these guys. Oh, was that Reaper's nearly been at the last corner as well? I would, just like with Nui, I would advise against that, but there you go, pushing hard, which is what we like to see. But Reaper, what can you do about getting by some of these guys? Will should still have the best tyres, though 8 laps from the softs are not going to be great. Reaper's tyres are probably going to be the worst of the lot. 18 laps as mediums is just about the maximum you can get out of them. Dildog's pushing Artie through here, and Will's pushing Dildog. This is a legitimate train here. Who's going to be the one to make a move and jump themselves up? Will looks like he's all over the back of Dudok here. Soft still giving him the goods he wants. I think this is going to be the main battle to watch at the end of the race here. Macedonian and Kickbutton keeping an eye on that gap as well, but not quite close enough for Macedonian to have a ping yet. As Will's all over the back of Dudok here for P9. But I think Dudok's using a bit of battery to stay with RD Chang's here, so... Oh, as Will's missed his apex slightly, could hurt him on a run into... Oh, he's had to catch that as well. Not ideal there. Definitely Duo might be the one to make a move here, but he has all of 2% of battery, and that's not going to be enough to get him past. Leaders on to the last lap though. Might have to quickly check up with them though, because we haven't given F1 Hawk too much attention recently because of all the on-track that's happening around him. F1 Hawk leading the race in the last lap. Little has actually put in a really solid drive for P2. I've been thereabouts the entire race. Newey in P3, Edmonds and Rock at the top 5 at the moment. I did say I'd go check him, but this is heating up still again. This guy's not done yet at all. There's always a big set for Dudok, and he's had to cut the corner to avoid a major incident there, and that's going to compromise Will. That's let Reaper through, who's picked up 3 seconds. So these guys are far from done. Reaper's going to send it, as will Will, but neither of them able to make a move. This is a spicy little battle here, my goodness. Jeez, alright. Let's check his penalties as well. Well, I mean, come penalties are not going to mean too much. They've all got a different number, but I mean, what's spicy on track action? Why not go hard? But for minor points, go for it. But we'll divert our attention here to the front as F1 Hawk's coming around third to last corner now. He will win the Australian Grand Prix by about a second in the end, as Bags Little is going to not quite come close enough to have a ping. F1 Hawk weaves the line penalty free. He's going to win the Grand Prix. Bags Little P2, S Nui with a great comeback into P3, Edmonds P4, Rock P5. And these guys are still going at it. We're going to have to divert our attention again. I think Will's managed to sneak back through a repass. So these guys are as they weren't. Reaper's in the wall, and he's just managed to keep the wheels on somehow. Yeah, the Mercedes is obviously made of something different than an Alfa Romeo. But I think that battle's finally died down there. Macedonian P7. Artie has run out of fuel. No, it's not over. Artie Cheng has run out of fuel, and that's cost him 3 places. Oh, that's a shame for him. He's going to come across the line at P12 after P8 looks likely. So there you go. Scotty will take the goods in P8. Will P9, Artie Dudok, and Reaper 10, 11, 12. That was a bit of a crazy battle there. Lockie Rex P13 after a costly mistake a couple of laps ago out of P2 or P3, sorry, and Benake Pi after a mysterious incident at turn 1 will round out the grid. But yeah, geez, what a race. That was something else. Kit Bucket's drive of the day, pretty well deserved, I think. Sticking with those hards for a very long time and managing to close in a bit of time on the softs at the end. Not helped by Strat in terms of the safety cars, but he's done very well for himself. But F1 Hawk will take the biggest trophy home. Nice silver cup there. Engraved handles, that must be worth a lot. Bags Little's done a really nice job P2, and for the first time in a very long time since Mark Webb's debut, an Australian has actually done well at the Australian Grand Prix. I mean, it's easier to do here than in real F1 because most of this grid is Australian or Oceanic, but I mean, an Aussie podium at the Aussie Grand Prix, what more could you ask for? So F1 Hawk will win it. Bags Little with a really impressive showing P2, S Nui P3, Edmonds and the Rock doing really nicely. The Rock up 7 places, worth noting. Kickbutt Kiwi from 15th to 6th up. What's that, 10 places. It's really impressive as well. Macedonian, Scotty, Will and Artie Cheng's take home the top 10 positions. Artie Cheng's done unfortunately running out of fuel. It's costing potentially a little bit more. Dudog 11th, Reaper 12th, so those guys all switching around a bit for their penalties. Blocky 13th after a podium was so close. Banana Cake Pie, as mentioned, mysterious incident. VSN Ki, Crookie, Stone Tower, Serb and Cavuti, 5 retirements from this race. A couple in the pit lane, a couple on track. That's the grid. There you go. Yeah, spicy race. Who says you can't have a good race in Australia? That was a lot of fun. Now, in terms of the championship, I'm actually not too sure where people sit, so I'm going to have to get that for you for next week.
I do apologise for not having that information next to me, but I'll have to do a bit of research for next week. But we can take a guess at who's contending with the regular front runners here. But I will get those numbers to you for next week, but we might leave it there. If you want to see some more spicy Tier 2 action, same time, same place next week. I believe we are at Bahrain. 50-50 track, somewhat tricky, not bad to race on, long straight, heavy braking, S sections, got a bit of everything, and also a night race which also throws a few things out of whack sometimes, but that's going to be a fun one. As fun as this one, not too sure. This was a pretty fun race, some great side-by-side action, some great strategy, some different strategies all working, which is good to see. Yes, some insane battling on track, really fun. If you want to watch these guys' past races, I think it's 2 are on the Race Spec channel, the YouTube channel, so check out all that good stuff, as well as the other 3 tiers that run for Pacific. I believe there's a Euro and America series, as well as the Race Spec Leagues on the Sunday, so make sure you check out all of that good stuff, plus the GT stuff on a Saturday as well. So plenty of stuff happening in the Race Spec community. Go follow the socials as well if you want to see more, but we'll leave it there. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Thank you to our drivers for putting on a show as always. Congratulations to our race result getters as well for cracking drives in a pretty tricky race in the end. But thank you everyone for all the good stuff, and we'll catch you next week for Bahrain. Enjoy the North Australian Grand Prix this weekend, and we'll see you next week.